The number is 2.3 million. That's what they're offering for your location. Not your arrest, your location. You learned the difference 3 months ago, and you haven't slept more than 90 minutes at a time since. Right now, you are standing in a bathroom in Bratislava. The tap has been running for 6 minutes. You can't remember turning it on. The question burning behind your eyes isn't how do I escape? It's who gave them the hotel name. You were not always this. 6 months ago, you had a name people used warmly. You had a sister who called on Sundays. You had a parking spot with your name on a small plastic placard, which felt embarrassing at the time and now feels like evidence of another life entirely. The thing that nobody tells you about being hunted is that it isn't the big moments that break you. It's the small ones. It's not being able to order food in your own voice. It's memorizing the exit of every room before you sit down. It's the way your hands now. Check the door lock 3 times, 4 times, 5. Not because you're paranoid, but because paranoia left weeks ago and now it's just procedure. You have 14 different phones. You trust none of them. And somewhere in a city you will never name out loud, there is a man who knows your real face, and you don't know yet if he's the reason you're still alive, or the reason you won't be. The contact said to meet at a cafe near the river at noon. You arrived at 10:40. He sat across the street for an hour and 12 minutes, drinking water from a plastic bottle you'd opened yourself, watching the door. Nobody came early. That was the first wrong thing. At noon, exactly, a woman sat down at the table marked with the blue newspaper, your signal. You didn't move. Something in the angle of her shoulders felt rehearsed. She checked her watch at 12:04, then again at 12:06. Real people waiting for someone checked their phone. She wasn't checking her phone. You left. 3 blocks away, your secondary contact called. You didn't show. No. A pause. They had 4 units in the building across the street. You said nothing, because here is the detail that will rewire everything you think you've understood about the last 6 months. The café. You chose that café. Nobody else knew. You sit with that for a long time. Your mouth tastes like copper. Your knee is bouncing and you can't make it stop. If you chose the location and they were already there, then the leak isn't your contact network. The leak is something closer. The leak is something inside the device you're holding right now, or the one you held last week, or the one before that. You think about every conversation, every location, every move you thought was clean, and you realize, slowly, the way cold water fills a room, they haven't been chasing you. They've been hurting you. That night, you make a decision you cannot undo. You call the number you swore you'd never call. It rings twice. He picks up on the 3rd. You haven't heard his voice in 11 months? I need to come in. You say silence. Then, you know what that means. Yes. Another silence. Longer this time. The kind that has weight. There's a car. 40 minutes. Don't bring anything. You look around the room. The burner phones lined on the windowsill. The fake passport with a name you almost started answering to. The photograph you've been carrying in your left shoe because it's the only thing soft enough to sleep near. You leave it all. You walk out the door. The street is cold. Your breath fogs the air in front of you. A dog barks somewhere 3 floors up. You count your steps. 17 to the corner. You turn left. The car is already there. Black. No plates. The window comes down 2 inches. Get in. You hesitate. 1 second. 2. The voice again. Now, you get in. The door closes. The lock clicks. And the man in the front seat, the man you called, the man you trusted with the one number that could end everything, turns around. And it's not him. What happens next takes 11 seconds. You know this because you counted. Old habit, the door handle. Your elbow. His wrist. The gap between the seat and the window, smaller than it looks, but enough. Cold air. Pavement. Running. You don't remember the next 4 hours clearly. You remember a pharmacy, fluorescent light, the smell of antiseptic and cheap soap. You remember paying cash for things you needed and one thing you didn't. A small spiral notebook, the kind a student would use. You don't know why you bought it, but that night, in a room you found with cash and a name that isn't yours, you open it and you write down, in careful handwriting, every name, every location, every phone call, every cafe, every move. You map it. All of it. And be 3 a.m., staring at what you've drawn on those pages. You finally understand who gave them the hotel name. You understand who built the network you thought was protecting you. You understand why the woman at the cafe checked her watch instead of her phone. It wasn't a leak. It was never a leak. You weren't the hunter. You were the message being delivered, slowly, to someone you haven't met yet. And tomorrow, for the first time in 6 months, you are going to stop running. Not because it's safe, but because now you know the address. You never did find out what the 2.3 million was really for. But you stopped being afraid of the number the night you realized it wasn't a bounty. It was a receipt.